Okay.
That is the law of tort students, both stream number 1 and number 2. And please, anyone can unmute and read what I posted on the screen. Anyone can unmute their microphone and read what I posted on the screen.
Yes.
Read.
You wrote Karibuni sana in bracket welcome to Law of Tort 2 students virtual/online class to both streams, School of Law, St. Augustine, University of Tanzania, Mwanza, Tanzania /East Africa, hosted by Professor Dr. Mohammed Saheb Hussain, Professor of Law, School of Law, Sauti, Mwanza, Tanzania.
I appreciate the way of writing. When you read some things, only symbols could be read in that manner, but not the punctuations. I will say that Karibu Sana, within parenthesis, welcome. That is the Professor Hussain style. Within parenthesis, not a bracket. Either the circular bracket or the square bracket or the round bracket. Karibu Sana, within parenthesis, welcome to Law of Tort 2, that is the Roman 2. Students, virtual, virtual, online class to both the streams, School of Law, St. Augustine, University of Tanzania, Mwanza, Tanzania, East Africa. And hosted by Professor Dr. Mohammed Saheb Hussain, Professor of Law, School of Law, South Mwanza, Tanzania, East Africa. So that is the style of writing I'm reading. And at the time, punctuations can be eliminated. Only signs and symbols can be said preferably. So that is the thing. So in my last class, first session, I dealt it from 3:10 to 4 o'clock, and where I discussed up to this extent, where intention of the defame is not necessary. That is the Scottish case of Morrison versus Ritchie and Company, where the damages were recovered against the proprietary and of the newspaper, who in all innocence had announced in the paper that a lady who had in fact been, I repeat, a lady who had in fact been married only a month, Moja Mevezi only, had given birth to twins. She delivered the twins. So if you could say so, yes, it's amount to defamation, and it is the fourth one, slander also. If you utter, but if it is given in the newspaper, then it is a libel and it is amount to defamation. Because how could a woman who married just 1 month before could deliver the twins? So that is amount to the defamation. So that is the point which I dealt it in the part 1 session, the morning, that is the 3:10 to 4 o'clock session. And now let us see that when I said that the defamation in the penal code, it is given in the chapter 8, but the chapter should not be written in that manner, because the Bail Act clearly says chapter could be written in the capital letters, and I think Roman number should be written over there. That preferably that is the Roman number. X means 10, V means 5, 1 means 3. The total becomes 18. But as subject to the correction, if you see in the penal code of Tanzania, whether the chapter is put it in the capital letter or the small letter. So it is repealed, section 187 to 194. If I scroll it, yes, it will come out 187 to and 194. It is repealed. And here 194 later, there are 3 symbols are given over there. Can you tell me what those symbols are? Anyone can unmute and give me the answer? If you don't know, you can say just pass on. It is enough. I will give the answer without wasting the time. Yes? Anyone can unmute and give me the answer. What is the 3 stars in horizontal manner? It is written. Haraka. If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, you say pass on. Yes? Anyone? I told you, if you know it, you can tell me. If you don't know it, you can say pass on. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I will give the answer. Asterisk. What do you say? It is a asterisk. How do you write it? A-S-T-E. I will magnify it. Risk, asterisk. That is the, I will magnify it, don't worry. Could you see it now? Anyone can unmute and give me the answer. It is called asterisk. How it can be written? This is, because we miss other things, need not to mention, but I told you either it can be represented by the three asterisks or horizontal way, or it can be represented with the full stop, dot, 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 full stop, full stop, full stop, three full stops, because the other things are not that much necessary. At that instance, we can say like that. And you can also say ellipsis, ELLIPSIS, which I told in the class also. So now let us go to the back our point of study. Yes. Yeah, 194 up to that extent is repealed because the Newspaper Act is there, then the Media Service Act is there. These are the two acts who generally use it in the defamation in addition to the precedents, because there is no specific act is there. That's what I want to say. Now, how far that we can say the words are defamatory or not, and we will see it now by citing one of the cases, not cases, example. So a statement is there, if you say crooked statement. What the statement is? A statement that is merely someone's opinion is not defamatory unless it is presented as it is a fact. If someone writes, I quote, it seems to me that John Smith is a crooked politician, I unquote. I repeat, if someone writes, I quote, it seems to me that John Smith is a crooked politician, that most likely is protected opinion. It is only the opinion, because he say it seems. Suppose if he say the fact like that, instead of saying it seems, if he says John Smith is a crooked politician, yeah, that a little bit it refers to the John Smith, provided he will be a crooked politician. If it really is the true, yes, you can make the fair comment, because politicians, public figures, yes, they will be given a and we can criticize them, we can make the comment over them, provided if they are wrong, because it is we, the people who elected the politicians. Are you following me? Say yes or no. By what we will elect it. Anyway, that's the point. Again, I will come to the point. A politician, because of the article Constitution of the Republic of Tanzania clearly says freedom of expression and opinion and expression. And at that instance, we have every right to make the comment if any person goes wrong, provided he is a politician or a publisher or a public figure or an executive. Yes, we can do so. So it is a nearly protected opinion, it is, because when you say it seems to me that John Smith is a crooked politician, and of course don't want to hinder public speech. Yes, even about the controversial subjects, yes, we can make the criticism, but the criticism should be fair criticism, and it should be the opinion, but not the fact. So opinions generally are protected speech. When the opinion is of a person is there, it will be protected speech and it will not amount to defamation. However, if the statement is, I quote, John Smith is a crooked politician. Now I said, John Smith is a crooked politician, unquote. It is not a true statement. It may be a defamatory. It may be a defamatory. It may be a defamatory. It is a fine distinction to bear in mind, but an important learn about the defamation and the free speech. What is the free speech? What is the defamation? We have to make it out. And it is the discretion of the judge to see whether it is amount to defamation or not. If it is pinpointedly say a particular person, the allegation which is a false or untruth, then it can be a defamation. But if it is 60% false, yes, it is amount to defamation. If the 50% is agreed of their fault is there, yes, is it acceptable? It is unacceptable, because one will be protected under defamation. Suppose the 60% is false, at the time that will say definitely it is defamation. It is on me, said Attorney Mitchell, a former minor football player who switched from the Baptist to Seventh Adventist before marriage, and he and his wife Michelle raised David and Berenja. I don't know whether you know it on a Sabbath people. Do you know the Sabbath people? Seventh Day Adventist. They are the Sabbath people. Suppose if any person, a football player is there, or actor is there, or actor is there, if you say a statement, either orally or written, that so and so X is played on Saturday. Played what? FIFA game, football, a competition, a final, a soccer. But a so and so actress, and she acted on Saturday. If you say such a statement, yes, Roderick E. Martin, you mute your microphone because I am getting the sound. Roderick Martin, you mute your. Yes, thank you very much. Kabula Muhammad Mirambo, I could not see your microphone. You mute. When you want to speak, you can unmute it. I say, Kabula, mute. Means close the microphone because I am getting the sound from you. In the same manner, Asante Mahundi, mute. You close your microphone. When you want to speak, at the time you can speak. Okay? Otherwise, I will get the disturbance. Even I get the resound also. Is it clear? Say yes.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Very good. Now everybody can mute it. Otherwise, no, you will get the resound. When I get the resound, and you could not hear properly, mute all. Mute it. Until when I asked you to unmute it, you, at the time you can unmute it. Then you give the answer. Okay. Now let us go to the next point. So if you say the Sabbath,
I think
Stefano Evans Joel, when I asked you to unmute, then you give the answer, but don't speak in the middle. When I said anyone can unmute and give me the answer, at the time you can unmute it. Unless until I ask you, you should be in the mute. Yes, now I am coming back to the point. If the Sabbath people, either she is an actress or a football player, if you say a statement that he played a FIFA game on Saturday, yes, it's amount to a defamation. Because Sabbath people never work, never do anything, never any activity. Of course, they will eat and they will pray. And on the Saturday. So it is amount to defamation if you say the Sabbath people. Sabbath people who seventh day Adventist. So they are called the Sabbath people. If the Sabbath people are there, you are not supposed to say they played the game on Saturday or they acted on the movie on Saturday. It is a amount to a defamation. And here, David Franklin and Seventh Day Adventist. Here also, if you say a particular day that he did a particular thing on Saturday, yes, it is amount to defamation. Either orally, it is a slander. If it is a written, it is a libel. The Kim Fields, he is also Sabbath. So these are the celebrities, those who are the Sabbath. And if you make it out, and I made the distinction between the slander. What is slander? Slander is oral. What is a libel? Libel is, anyone can unmute and give me the answer. Libel is written form, which can be to the eyes. So that is the libel. So here, which I made the distinction, written or published defamatory statement is the libel or libel, because sometimes they write L-I-B-E-L, sometimes they can write the L-I-B-L-E. So you can write the both the way. Of course, what we followed is the L-I-B-E-L. Okay, follow the same thing. But the uniformity should be maintained in your answer. When you write the spelling L-I-B-E-L, all the places you write the same thing. But one way, one time that you write, one place you write L-I-B-E-L, and some other place if you write L-I-B-L-E, there is no uniformity. So that is the reason you try to make the uniformity. Now comes to the slander, which is to the ear, E-A-R, ear. Verbally committed defamatory statement is said to be the slander. And then when you come to the matter of the libel is found in a printed media, such as the newspaper, magazines, and media, and blogs, and social media, and websites. And in the class also I told you that libel, which is in a permanent form, either it is a printed one, or it is in the memory stick, or USB, or in the tape, or in the disc, or a compact disc, or a movie, or synchronized form, and if it is the gestures, and if it is the signs and symbols, and which conveys a wrong idea, a wrong notion to a particular person, yes, that is amount to defamation. Even burning the effigy, E-F-F-I-G-Y, effigy. I told you in the class, E-F-F IGY, a figure in the form of a protest of a politician or an executive or any other person to whom that you want to show your protest, at that time they will burn it in the four corners of the road, and it's the amount to defamation, which is the libel. But when you come to the slander found in a television, telecast is a slander, telecast is both a slander as well as a libel. But a broadcast is only a slander. Because telecast you can see with your eyes, and telecast you can hear with your ears, and hence it is having both the qualities, and hence the both slander and the libel. But when you come to the broadcast, it is a radio. Radio is only you could listen sikiliza with your ears, and hence we can say it is a slander. When a matter comes to the libel, punishment for the general libel is monetary and fine. Punishment for the seditious libel is imprisonment. Suppose if the libel is criminal form, it is there. Yes, under the Cybercrime Act, it is clearly mentioned over there, which I taught in my first session. Under it, there will be 5 millions or 3 millions fine, and 6 months or something like that. The years also punishment, or the both are there in the Cyber Crimes Act. So now let us come to the punishment, where they vary according to the country, because in some country it is a defamation, in some country it is not a defamation. Like I told you, in India, if you say, if you are an unmarried woman, that you are seems to be a pregnant, seems to be means okay idea, that is the only opinion. But you are a pregnant because your belly will be like 6 months to 7 months size. And she is not married, but only she ate a good food, and obesity, she should be, seems to be like a pregnant woman. But she is not a married at all. And if you say in India that you are a pregnant, yes, when you say orally, if you say written form also, in the both the forms, it is a defamation. But in Tanzania, it is not a defamation. Even for the unmarried women will having the children at the time, are you married? If you ask them, are you a member? If you ask them, it is not amount to defamation at all, because a union is allowed to a certain extent by the people over there in Tanzania. So now let us come to the point here next. This is a bigger form, it is coming. When the participants are there, I will make to the smaller form. How do you make it out? I say escape. No. Anyway, it doesn't matter. These are the people, those who are present in my class today. If you want, you can take the screenshot. It is a record. You can take the screenshot. Even myself also taken the screenshot. Yes. So now let us go to the point again. What is a effigy? I told you. What is meant by effigy? And here also I have given. A effigy is an often life-size sculpture representation of a specific person or a prototypical figure. The term is more used for the makeshift dummies used for the symbolic punishment in a political protest, and for the figures born in certain traditions around the New Year, Carnival or Easter. Sometimes the people will get in the form of a protest also, they will burn the politicians' figures also. So now this is called the effigy, which is also a libel and is a permanent form. And generally a slander is not actionable per se, and it is actionable per se only in the 4 occasions. When is the actionable per se in the 4 occasions? Let us see after some time. Now let us go to the another point here, which I want to make it out. Yes, it is. When you see the ingredients of the defamation, number 1, the statement should be defamatory. Number 2, it must be referred to a person. Number 3, it should be published. Number 4, a person who suffered by that one, he should be suffered over there. A person must be suffered either physically, mental or financial, or lowering the status in the right thinking of the society, or society shun him or her because of the such words which is stated over there, and she was labeled or he was labeled. That is that. If you say a woman as a prostitute or a whore, because generally I say the word whore or a harlot, yes, it is amount to defamation, provided she is not more. Even she is a whore, even she is a harlot, you are not supposed to say, because you have the bad intention to say so, because every whore or harlot having her name. Better you call with the name, but you cannot, we cannot address her as a whore. What is the rate? What is the rate in the daytime? A whore, what is the rate in the night time? So in that way, you are not supposed to ask. If you want to ask with her name, because every person having the name. Like I told you in the class also, in the digital world, if anyone doesn't have the WhatsApp, in the digital world, if anyone doesn't have the email, and he is no more in existence, because now it is a person should have a computer savvy. Savvy, I told. SAVVY. Savvy means a taste, a interest, application, knowledge, he should have it. How to operate the smartphone, how to operate the electronic gadgets in the iPads, laptops, mini tabs, desktops. And one should not supposed to type with the one finger. Please, even though it is hard, you can use all your fingers, including the gumba, that is a thumb, which will be used with the right hand people for the bar, for the left hand people, the left hand thumb. Is it clear? Say yes only. Unless I ask you to say unmute and read. Yes? Is it clear?
Yes.
Anyone can unmute and say yes.
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 Okay, now, okay, mute.
Yes.
Mute. Now, I come to the point here. I say everybody should have to mute once they have given the answer. Agreed? It is a gentleman agreement. Okay. Now, under the common law, except 4 occasions, because slander is not actionable per se, but the libel is generally the actionable per se, because you need not to prove it. Of course, when you want to file a case, the 4 ingredients should be present over there. When the 4 ingredients be present over there, naturally you won the case. And slander, it is generally will say it is not a criminal wrong as per the common law is concerned. It is only a civil wrong. But if the libel is a criminal wrong, we will say. Not criminal exactly, but we can file a case and it is both a civil and a criminal wrong. Because defamation is a both civil and a criminal wrong. Because by defamation, if law and order is broken over there, and it became a headache to the state, at that instance, it became a criminal defamation. When the criminal defamation is there, state will move and state will file the case against the person who caused such a defamation, a wrongdoer. Wrongdoer or doer, spelling is W-R-O-N-G, wrong hyphen D-O-E-E-R. I repeat, wrongdoer or doer, W-R-O-N-G, wrong hyphen H-Y-P-H-E-N hyphen D-O-E-R, doer. But when you come to the criminal offenses are concerned, we don't say wrongdoer generally. We will say, what we will say in a person who commits a criminal offenses in criminal law or the Tanzania Penal Code, if there is a particular word is there, can anyone unmute and give me the answer for that word? Yes, anyone can unmute. If you don't know, you can say pass on. Anyone? Now you can unmute and speak. I say only one person. Can I pick the person who wants to speak? Samuel Atembe, can you unmute and say a person who commits a criminal wrong is called? Yes? If you don't know, you say pass on.
The person.
Okay.
And accuse the person.
Oh, accused means generally.
Can I speak?
Yes. Sema. See, accused.
Accuse the person.
See, when I was speaking, you are speaking. And when I say, and I kept quiet, you are not saying. No, because it can be declined. So now, let us come to the perpetrator. Perpetrator will say in criminal. In criminal, we will say perpetrator. That is the wording that we use it. Oh. So now, I think you can see my screen, and you are seeing my screen. Is it or not? Say yes. You could see my screen. Is it or not?
Yes.
Say yes or no.
Yes.
Now when
Yes.
I say unmute,
Yes.
don't speak. Okay, now mute. So now, under the common law, except the 4 occasions, exempt. Otherwise, plaintiff had to prove the special damages must be proved. Now, anyone can unmute and read these 4. Yes, now you can read the 4, which I highlighted here. Anyone can unmute and read, which I highlighted here.
Can I?
Anyone, I said. Anyone means
I
meant by anyone.
it's not showing well. It's not showing well from the beginning.
I say which is highlighted.
It's not showing
Which I highlighted. I
where
said,
the words impute the plaintiff.
yes.
Yeah.
Now I have shown. Number 1.
Where words
My
impute the
cursor is
plaintiff.
there. My cursor is there. Where is my cursor? Which I highlighted. Where is my cursor? My cursor. Computer cursor. CURSOR cursor. Which I highlighted here.
Where words impute the
on the screen, which I highlighted, number 1, number 2, number 3, where the words impute to the plaintiff the commission of a criminal offense punishable by imprisonment. Number 1. Read the number 2.
Number 2, where
they impute
to him
contagious or infectious disease.
Only one person should read. Either Mago, because Mago first Stephen started. Let the Stephen will read. Later Mago will read another point. Stephen, you read the second one.
Okay. The second says that where they impute to him a contagious or infectious disease.
Okay, number 3, Mago, you read. Mago, now you read, unmute and read. Those who read, you can mute it. Third point, which I highlighted the cursor here. See, when I want to say read, you don't read. When don't want, you read it. Mago,
where they are spoken of him. Where they are spoken of him as a professional or businessman.
Okay, mute. Then another person can unmute and read the fourth one. The fourth one, which
Where they impute and charge injustice, adultery, a woman or girl.
Okay, now mute. So there
Slander is unactionable if as
mute.
far as the words or the defamation.
You read is over. A fourth point is only where they impute the unchastity or adultery to a woman or a girl. Tosha, Imisha, mute. I asked you to read only fourth point. You need not to read another point. Okay, now let us explain the one by one, which I already explained, but still, and the record I would like to explain number 1, which is highlighted here. And number 1 is where the words impute to the plaintiff the commission of a criminal offense punishable by imprisonment by the Tanzania Penal Code. That means, if you say a person is a prostitute, if you say a person witch, if you say a person murderer, if you say a person rapist, if you say a person vagabond, it is come under the penal code, punishable under nature. Hence, such a mere oral words is enough. It is actionable per se. Number 1. Come to the matter number 2, where they impute him a contagious or infectious diseases, like which I told, ukimvi, HIV, AIDS, syphilis, gonorrhea, sexually transmitted diseases. Sexually transmitted diseases, or if you have to say some person COVID-19, if you say the COVID-19 also, a person if it doesn't have, then it's amount to slander, which is actionable per se. Number 3, okay, it is jumped over there. It doesn't matter, I can bring it back. Number 3, where they are spoken of him as a professional or businessman. What spoken of him? He is a unfit for the profession, disqualified for the business, disqualified for the any trade, and we make such an allegation which is a false to a person. Yes, that also amounts to a slander, actionable per se. That means you need not to prove it. Even mere words also enough. A man would be held liable to pay the compensation. Because when you want to become a professional like a doctor or engineer or a lawyer You have to undergo a course. Then there would be another professional house surgeon, house that is like LST, Law School of Tanzania is there, where you undergo the training over there if you want to become an advocate. So after the sufficient study and practice, then they will be given the certificate to practice. Of course, you have to go to the Tanganyika Bar Association, Tanganyika Law Society to enroll yourself, if I cannot be mistaken, for to become an advocate by paying the fee. And if you say a doctor who doesn't have the qualification and is practicing, and such a doctor is called without the qualification and without the degree, without studying, if a person practices as a doctor, we can say that person as a quack. Quack. I write it here so that you could understand. Who is a quack? A person who doesn't have the degree of a doctor, means MBBS or a BS, whatever the degree would be awarded by the country, and without any training, and if he practices without the degree and he is said to be a quack. If you say a person quack, who he is already not a quack, but he already studied in the Mahumbili or IMTU or somewhere as a doctor, medical doctor I am speaking. Yes, even that also amounts to a defamation, which comes under the third category, and which is third category is profession or business unfit for. If you say so, yes, it is amount to be a third category of the slander. Number comes the fourth category is where they impute a unchastity or adultery to a woman or a girl. Just now I told you that if you say a unmarried woman that you have given the delivery of the twins, if you say so, and who is married just 1 month before, a married 1 month before, that amounts to defamation. Is it a defamation in Tanzania if you say an unmarried woman that you are given a birth to twins? Anyone can unmute and give me the answer. A unmarried woman or a girl, and you you are a pregnant of 7 months because your belly is like a 7 months belly. In Tanzania, if you say, it is not amount to defamation. But if you say in India, a unmarried woman or a girl, that it seems you are having a child because your tumbo, that is a belly, will be like 7 months pregnant. If you say so, it is amount to defamation because you are making the unchastity of a girl and adultery to a woman or a girl. So that comes from the fourth. There is a slander which is actionable per se. So slander is actionable as far as the words, even the gestures amount to defamation. I told you even the gestures also amount to defamation. And I'm using my video, I'm showing you. See, if you keep like this, it is amount to defamation. Or if you make like this, I think you could able to see it. It is amount to defamation. Did you see it? Say yes or no.
Yes,
Did you
sir.
see it? The gestures which I made it just now. Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Very good, very good, very good. I appreciate. Now I closed my video. Okay, now let us see the one of the case law. Ribent Revachungora versus
Yes.
Potian Mutayabara. I don't know how to pronounce. Mutayabarava. Civil appeal number 23 of the 2017. And what the case law says, let us see. Whenever you writing the case law, this is not the style of writing. No, it's a bad style. See, this is the correct style of writing. See, I am showing not only the teaching, but I am showing how to write also, case laws. You have to, all case laws names should be in italics. Suppose you are making the printing. It should be italics, no bold, and we should be small letter, but within parentheses, the footnote, not footnote, it is a citation. Within parentheses, civil appeal number 23 of the 2017. And here, I think this is 41. I think it is a footnote, I believe. So in this case, it is made Cairo J, and he is a judge, expounded the above notion if an action for defamation, the plaintiff must prove that. What the plaintiff must prove for the action for the defamation? For the statement was a defamatory, number one, that there refers to him, means plaintiff, that it was a published, means communicated to third party, and again, he should be suffered also. But the suffering is no either mental suffering or financial suffering or bodily suffering, and this all suffering will come under the damages, means injured. That a person injured over there. And because I told you the reason. Suppose if anybody says Mr. X is a debaucher. You know debaucher? Who uses the many girls as a for the sexual for the BBC, body to body contact. He's a debaucher, means he uses the dens, he uses the prostitutes' houses, and he uses the women BBC. And if you say a person in that manner, yes, people try to avoid him. People try to shun him. And at that instance, if he really does so, but if it is a merely allegation or not a true statement, yes, speak. Chris, you mute it because whatever you are speaking, I could hear you. Chris, you mute. I could not. You did not mute it because I am getting the sound from your side. So, participants, when you don't speak, please mute it. That is a must. Hello, attended to and unmute themselves. No. So, still you did not mute it. Please mute it. Okay, now let us come to the point again. Yes, a man should be suffered physically, mentally, financially, by any other way, and his dignity will be lowered down, the right thinking of the people. Chris, I say mute. Otherwise, I will throw out from my lobby. If you don't mute it, I will throw from my lobby. I say mute. Still, you did not mute it. Because when you mute, I can get the here icon. And I don't know whether you know how to mute or how to unmute. You should have the computer savvy. Otherwise, you cannot do so. Okay, because it is a deviation to me, because my flow will go away if you don't. Because if you don't unmute it, and I will hear your sound. Monica, mute. I did not see your microphone. Okay, let us come to the first point. There are a total 4 slanders which are actionable per se, just now I discussed. Now, number 4, ingredients of the defamation. What are they? Number 1, the word must be defamatory. Number 2, the word should be referred to the plaintiff. Number 3, it should be published. Number 4, a person who suffered either mentally, physically, or financially by any other means. Or the people will shun him, people will ridicule him, people will hatred him. These are all the things will come under that 4th category, the 4th ingredients of the defamation. Monica Niange, I don't know that why did not you mute it, because I could not see your microphone. In the same manner, Samuel Itembe, I did not see your microphone, mute it. Or you don't make this noise, otherwise, I will get the resound. And whatever you speak, I could hear you. Now let us come to the, and one more I want to say, in the class also I told you, and I made it. All liars are liars. It is a general statement. It is not particularly referred to a particular person. But if you say, I don't know how many good law firms are there in Tanzania. Law firms, good law firms. How many good law firms there in Tanzania? See, here I have shown top 12 law firms in Tanzania. Bowman's, Clyde and Company LLP, Imma Advocates, FB Attorney, Rex Attorney, A&K Tanzania, SAUT-Law Attorney, Abernim Advocates, East Africa Law Chambers, CRB Africa Legal, Wilma Law, FK Law Chambers. These are the things. Suppose if you pinpointly say so-and-so chamber, liars are liars, yes, it's amount to defamation. But if you generally say, if you generally make a statement stating advocates are, Tanzania advocates are, they are we can say any allegation you can make it out. They are not up to the mark, or they are not well qualified, then it is not amount to defamation. But you pinpointedly say so-and-so chamber, so-and-so firm is, advocates are incompetent. If you say yes, all the advocates, either jointly or severally, they may file a case under the defamation. Either orally, or if you say in the written form, yes, it is a libel, they will file it case.
Sorry, sir.
I say mute unless until I ask you, you are not supposed to speak. Monica Nyenge, still you did not mute it. Samuel Etembe, still you did not mute it. Yeah, please mute. Unless I will say anyone can unmute and give me the answer at the time that you have to unmute and give me the answer. Now let us see the first statement. Defamatory statement was articulated by Lord Atkin in the Sim versus Stretch case law. What is the statement? How it would be? I quote, a statement which tends to lower the claimant, because I told you American people will use the claimant, but the British use plaintiff, Plaintiff, and they will use claimant. A person who goes to the court is said to be the claimant. In the estimation of the right-thinking members of the society generally, and in a particular to cause him to be regarded with the feeling of the hatred and the contempt, ridicule, fear, and disesteem. I unquote. And if it is such a thing would be there, the words makes a person where the society will make him hatred, society will make him or her contempt and ridicule him, and fear and disesteem, not giving the proper respect to him, or they want to shun that person. Yes, it is lowering the status of a person, the right thinking of the people of the society. So that is the one case law, we can make it out, but we will see the another case law if it is there, because I already discussed in the class. And then the question comes, we will say only persons, corporation, partnership, state, yes, there would be defamation provided if it refers to a particular person who is holding the chair. In the partnership also, yes, they are the juridical personality, legal entity they are. When the legal entity are there, yes, they can sue and they can be sued also. So a secretary of the state or the state, what do you say? Yes, even the criminal case is there, attorney will also file a case against you if you make such a statement towards the government. If the firm is there, yes, firm, on the behalf of the firm, anyone can approach the court and file a case, a person who made such a defamatory statement. So government or public bodies also, they can bring an action to see that. So before we can go to the second ingredient, I would like to say this position. In the Derbyshire County Council versus Times newspaper and others, it is a corporation. When a corporation or a council can sue or cannot sue, we will see it, because generally the first statement they say it must, second statement will say it must be referred to the plaintiff, and a plaintiff is a person. Is it refers only to the person or juridical personality also? Person means human being. Suppose other than the human being, like a corporation, partnership, firm, and the government, it's do they sue or they can be sued? Let us see that a case law, Derbyshire County Council versus Times newspaper and others. In this case law, the Court of Appeal held that local authorities may not sue for libel. They said local authorities may not sue for the libel. To allow such an action to be brought by the democratically elected bodies or any government body would be against the public interest in free debate about the action of the elected authorities. In certain places, yes, the court will allow, yes, they can sue for the defamation. It depends upon the case to case also. And what are the defamatory words? Whether words are referred to the firm, whether words are referred to the partnership, whether words are referred to the partnership members, it will depend upon, then we can sue, they can be sued. However, an individual politician, when you matter comes to the politician, who an individual politician or a public servant can sue if the statement refers to the way in which they are personally carry out a public function. Suppose the public function they are personally carry over there, and if a defamatory words are refers to the particularly individual politician or particularly the individual public servant, even though he is holding a particular post, at that instant they can sue it. So that was the given over there. The words to whom it is referred, is it to the firm or the firm running people? So moreover, in Goldsmith and another, Boyarwool and others, the Buckley J built on the Derbyshire decision in holding that political parties were unable to sue. They say political parties were unable to sue for libel because, why they have given the reason? Because of the public interest in free speech concerning those who put themselves forward for public office. Politicians we can make the criticism because they are supposed to do a particular thing. For instance, there are budgets are there, projects are there. If the projects they could not make it out and the projects amount they completely devoured for the personal gain at the time, yes, public make a comment, not only the orally, they can give in the paper, in the media, they will canvass it. Even they can burn the effigy of a particular politician, figure, a model in the four corners of this society, four corners of the street. Yes, they can do so. Even though it is a libel, yes, they have such a right under the article, the Constitution of Tanzania. By virtue of the Constitution of Tanzania, they can do so. Freedom of speech and expression, they can maintain it. And at the time, the politician or the public servant, they cannot sue him. Provided again, I told you no, provided it is a very false statement is made, at that instant, personally and individually they can sue. So that is the, in the Goldsmith and another, the case law, it made clear that if the public officer is there and the public servant is there, any person having the free speech and he can criticize government function or policies also. So can a deceased person be defamed? Because we have said particular person, the person should be alive, he should dead. The question comes, a dead person doesn't have any respect or there is no defamation to him. But if that defamation have the impact on their children, on their business, yes, at that time they can sue. Who? Children can sue. Of whom? Deceased. So the above discussion leads to the critical question, can a deceased person be defamed? That is the question. The common law definition of the defamation does not cover the deceased individual because it's a common law, it is to the person. When you say person,